I remember the first day I became an artist. Yeah. I'd been playing in the woods all day, just shooting squirrels with slingshots, and found a trail of breadcrumbs, and I followed it, and it led into this clearing. And in the middle of the clearing was this cottage house, and it had smoke coming out of the chimney. So, I was curious. I said, "Hey, what's up with that?" So I knocked on the door, and this warlock answered, and he said, "Hey, yo, man, you want to be good at art?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll be good at art." And then he said, "Well, I'm just baking this art cake, and in order to be an artist, you gotta take a bite out of it." Long story short, I took a big old bite, and now I'm okay at art. My name is Shit. Welcome to my fuck. When I was little, I spent a year on a reservation in Arizona. And during that time, I was bullied pretty bad, and I think it was mainly because I was half white, and, they still really dislike white people out there. I just felt really isolated. So, I think that carries into my art because I didn't understand why that was a big deal. It's the personality that counts, it's not exterior anything. In my artwork, I'm getting over that by just forgetting about all that stupid stuff for a little bit. I don't know, I feel like I'm just trying to make it so you shouldn't feel bad if you're isolated. If anything, you should feel good about being isolated. You should embrace being different, not trying to be normal. Coming off the reservation, I felt scared of people. Felt a lot of fear, and I think that fear led me to be a bully in some ways. I just like to tease people and push their buttons a little bit. Like, one of my very first friends, he would always draw these really elaborate, fancy forest settings with animals in them and doing cutesy things and stuff like that. And whenever he would get up to sharpen his pencil or use the bathroom or whatever, I would snatch that up and fill in the landscape with hunters and guns and people, or the animals getting killed and stuff like that. And I always thought that was a lot of fun, just to destroy what someone else made. With my recent artwork, I've been revisiting that destructive process. I go into these thrift stores and I find records, old vinyl album covers, and it's really fun to paint over those because I imagine the effort that person put into making their covers look cool and making themselves look cool and trying to convince the consumer that they're cool and you should buy this record. And I like to think about that when I, spit on their faces. I think people understand where I'm coming from. I just had a show and it was pretty fucking badass.
If you could describe Lomaho's work in one word, what would it be?
Just wanna.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
But it's more like funny chaotic.
Unique. It's unique.
Morbid and happy.
Horny. Horny as fuck. Wet as a motherfucker.
Awesomely grody. It's 2 words.
One word to describe Lomaho's work. I really, just as one word, I really think it would just be fuck you.
So I managed to go down the whole line of them. And actually, one in particular I can comment on as a mother is the one on pregnancy. Because at times, the 6 weeks usually after a child is born, you feel like they are a little monster that has changed your life and you hate them. So actually, that was the only one I found quite realistic and appropriate. I had more of the feeling of his carrying away what we usually see, because we want to see, that we don't want to see the ugliness underneath. I guess you could say, though, that an alteration of these people, all of them changed, so that we have trouble even relating to what their pretty face or handsome face usually is, or what their accomplishments are. I felt like that it was more of taking the mask off.
Well, I like the records because they're so small, you know, the format really just demands the person to get up close to it. You know? It demands intimacy. Just like me. Finding the records is pretty much half the process. I mean, and it's just as fun as making it too. So to do that, you know, you just cycle through all these different records, and a lot of them just aren't fun and stuff. But when you find one that's good, it's awesome. My mind just races as soon as I pick it up, like all the stuff I can do with it, all the possibilities, and then it can't be too wacky. If it's too wacky already, then I feel like I can't really top it. So it has to be just the right level of weird. Usually it begins with a lot of drawings. I try and draw a lot, so I carry around this little sketchbook where I just draw. And so I start there. I go through and I like pick a guy. I like this guy. He looks cool, so I'm gonna put him in something else. So it always starts with drawing. The final stage is finding a record that'll accommodate the character, and it just goes from there. Well, when I paint, I think about a lot of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Movies, Mad Max. Then I think about the apocalypse. I don't know. I feel like I'd be okay in an apocalypse setting. I think I could gather about 20 or 30 people, take over the nearest howitzer factory, and then make a little barter town. You know? I want to be Tina Turner in the apocalypse. That's what I'm going to be. I'm trying to make people laugh at something that's not supposed to be funny. Like, demon babies. It's not supposed to be funny, but it is. Just because it's not what it's supposed to be. I find beauty in ugly things. Like, I'm not too attracted to classically beautiful chicks. I like it when there's something a little weird, something off, ugly, I guess. Like there was this girl who's really pretty, you know, traditionally, classically, whatever you want to call it. But she had this little tooth, the main one right here, that was sunk in and it crooked and it was really messed up. But to me, that made her a million times hotter. Yeah, I feel like our culture emulates these hollow people, you know, that have just erased all their ugly parts. I don't like that. I think that's messed up. I think you should be happy about your ugly parts, because those are the best parts.